For English class, we've watched the movie The True Cost, and that movie we are going to analyze through a podcast, if you want to call it that. The movie itself was made in 2015, directed by Andrew Morgan. It's a documentary that shows us the way our fashion industry is slowly ruining the earth. The movie introduces us to the problems that the concept of fast fashion creates and the impact that it has on our climate and society. We're seeing all the way from the working conditions that the workers are put under when they make the clothes that we buy. It shows us the impact that it has on our climate. We watch all the way from the underpaid and overworked workers in Bangladesh all the way to the American consumers who sees the clothes as disposable items. It's a big eye-opener that shows us the consequences through all the disasters that the fast fashion has made in different kinds of countries, and it's supposed to make us question our choices when it comes to the clothes that we choose to wear.
The genre is documentary, and you can see that because documentaries are fact-based films that are not based on a script, they try to portray reality. The starting point is more journalistic than artistic. Documentary films are originally called actuality films. They lasted 1 minute or less. Over time, documentaries have evolved to become longer in length and to include more categories. Some examples being educational, observational, and fiction.
Through the movie, they use different kinds of appeal to talk to us, to move us. Through the movie, we get introduced to, easily summed up, two kinds of people. The people who suffer from the consequences of the fast fashion, such as workers. Here we, for example, meet the worker Shima. Through her, they use a lot of edicts. We feel bad for her because of how she's being treated and the conditions she has to work under in Bangladesh. We also get introduced to a lot of people who can tell us about the problems fact-based, or the people who work on bettering the conditions under the industry. They use both a lot of pathos but also a lot of logos, because they talk to us through facts, they talk to our logic, but we also trust them because they have, for example, they work with it, they know what they're talking about, and therefore we trust them because they have to know what they're talking about. We also get to see a lot of scientists who's been researching the problems. We also trust them because they have a power through the work that they do and the research that they know about.
What claims are made? They claim that the workers don't work in a bad environment, but in the documentary the workers tell that they are exposed for radiation, so when they get pregnant their children will be born as a handicap or a child with disabilities, and they will shortly after die because of that.
It's very easy already from the beginning of the movie to see that the makers of the film are trying to make us more aware of the footprints that we are leaving on the earth through our need and use of clothes. They try to show us the consequences that our actions have when it comes to the clothes that we wear, and why we should keep in mind of how the clothes that we buy are made. They're trying to change our approach to the problem by showing us the disasters that's happened because of the conditions that we force on the workers because it has to be cheap. For example, when a large working building collapsed in Bangladesh and over 1,000 people died, that happened because they don't have enough money to ensure the safety of the working places, because it has to be so cheap that the workers is only paid like a couple dollars a day, even though they're overworked. And Every time the movie shows us a consequence or a problem that has been created by the industry, they back it up with a person relevant to the problem. And every time we're introduced to a new person, we get to know what they work with and how they have knowledge about the problem and why we should trust them with the information that they give us. They also use both statistics and comparings throughout the movie that back up how the problem has changed our world, our climate, our society throughout the years.
Does the message they are trying to send work? I think for some people their message will have an impact and they will change the way they buy clothes. And some will still buy clothes and will not think twice about it. But for me, it had made me more aware of what clothes I will buy or where I will buy it next time.